Looks like it's been a couple of chaotic days in the White House press briefing room as reporters ask if the White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre wants to reconsider past statements on Biden's mental health.
Oh, man. Jackie Heinrich is live outside. She's live in D.C. right now with the latest. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, guys, joining you from the NATO summit here in D.C. The White House, though, is playing cleanup. Hours after Karine Jean-Pierre was asked if she wanted to reconsider any of her previous statements about the president's health, the White House late last night released new information about a visit that Biden had with Dr. Kevin Kennard, the Parkinson's specialist who visited the White House 8 times in 8 months. After Karine said that Kennard's visits had nothing to do with care for President Biden, the White House is now admitting that a January 17th visit with Biden related to a neurological exam that he was taking as part of his annual physical, which, by the way, was not reported until a month later. Karine issued a statement last night. She said, because this date was not mentioned in the question, I want to be clear that the January 17th meeting between Dr. O'Connor and Dr. Kennard was for the president's physical. It was one of the 3 times the president has seen Dr. Kennard, each time for his physical. The findings of each exam have been released to the public. But every single word that is uttered by this White House right now is facing a lot of scrutiny.
Well, he also said he's sharpest before 8 p.m. So say that the Pentagon at some point picks up an incoming nuke. It's 11 p.m. Who do you call? The First Lady?
He has a team that lets him know of any news that is pertinent and important to the American people. He has someone or that is decided, obviously, with his National Security Council on who gets to tell him that news.
So following that exchange, NSC spokesman John Kirby went on special report to try to assuage any concerns that the president's mental acuity is faltering.
The man that I see every day, including today, is in command of the facts and the context. He gets calls in the middle of the night all the time. And you know, a couple of G7s ago, Brett, you might remember, there was a missile that fell in Poland. There was a concern that it could have been a Russian missile. That call came in to him in the middle of the night. He called together the G7 in a snap meeting by 8 o'clock that morning.
Well, Kirby was actually referencing the G20 summit in Indonesia. Biden called together a meeting of the G7 leaders that morning, but he was meeting with staff in the overnight hours and made this call to the Polish president before sunrise. The White House put out this photo at the time. However, all of this was in 2022, and it's somewhat of a poor example for John Kirby to cite, given that concerns about the president's age at that time were nowhere near as significant as they are now, more than a year and a half later, guys.
That is a great timeline. Jackie,
and Jackie, yeah, just real quick, Jackie, there's also another story in the Wall Street Journal. The German officials tried to have a meeting, Chancellor Olaf Scholz, in the early evening so the president could meet. And the president just blew off the meeting and sent Tony Blinken in, and that because he was tired.
Went to bed.
Yeah.
Saw that report. And what's going to be really interesting is you have the NATO leaders in town right now. I mean, we're talking to the Polish prime minister later today and the Finnish foreign minister in the afternoon. So if there are any other stories about concerns that our allies have with the president and his health, given their own interactions, those stories will come out this week. They're talking to a lot of media out here.
They are indeed. All right, Jackie, thank you very much. What's really interesting is if you actually, it's terrifying. When Peter Doocy asked KJP about, okay, there's an incoming nuke, what do you call the First Lady? And for the press person to say that there is a team that decides what they should tell the president. You know, if there's any reason you should ever wake up the president, it's for an incoming nuke. Hello. You know, and yesterday on our program, we had General Keith Kellogg on, and he made it very clear. He told us, you know, we used to wake up former President Trump all the time. Watch this.
You can't have a part-time commander-in-chief. I cannot tell you, Steve, how many times we had to wake the president up, President Trump up, in the middle of the night to have a decision. And he was right on it right away. Look, that time when we killed Soleimani, we woke him up in the middle of the night. We got an answer. That was on the 1st of January, 2020. On the 3rd of January, 2020, Soleimani was dead. There is a real question that they have got, and the world has got, can this guy, President Biden, actually do the job other than just 5 or 6 hours a day?
Remember what he said to the Democratic governors? Yeah, my problem is I was tired, so I promised to work less and sleep more.
Right.
Fantastic. I love that attitude. I'm going to go get him. I'm going to change things by doing less and sleeping more.
But just imagine
at least
the anti-American
press
attitude.
secretary was being honest there. The White House is being run by the staff. I mean, that is the point here. And it's not just her that is saying that. They are openly campaigning, going on media outlets and saying, look, you're not just electing Joe Biden. You get the staff with him. And that is part of the talking points.
Was she basically saying that we wake him up half the time? Like, we make the decisions. We don't wake him up. We make the decisions in the middle of the night. What was she saying?
It's what we have heard, to your point.
Yeah.
You know, we've heard the chief of staff say there's a lot of stuff that doesn't rise to the level of us telling the president of the United States. What's terrifying about this is, okay, so the phone's ringing in the NSA, and it's like, oh, incoming. And if you got the vacation relief team, it's like, is this something we would wake the president up for?
The missile defense is automated, so it's automatically going to block the nuclear missiles out of the sky. Let's hope.
I hope
Star
so.
Wars?
Yeah.
I think that was just an idea.
Yeah, let's just see.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.